So Vince, if you remember, was it last month or the month before last, we did some reviews for Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3, and the remake. And Scream Factory actually came out with the special editions, and that's what we reviewed.
We did the unboxings for all three as well.
And we actually had an email, a very interesting, not email, but response from somebody. I think he wrote on Poltergeist 3 is what it was.
Yeah.
So if you want to go back and read that, this is what we're talking about. His name is David Fernier.
Fail.
I don't think it's Fernier. I think it's Fortuny, I think it is.
And that's a fail.
So that's what he calls himself now.
I'm sure we butchered your name, Dave. So we're sorry that we butchered your name up.
All of you are gonna die!
I actually asked him if he wanted to come on the show and talk about this, and he didn't. Which, you know, I guess I can understand, because if you were you, Vince, would you want to be on the show?
Well, I'm already on the show, so...
True. So anyway, he wrote this email response, not an email, video. So anyway, he wrote a response to our video, and we thought we would get on here and do a video response to what he wrote and talk about it a little bit, because he really opened up sort of a door that I didn't know about. And it was kind of cool that, you know, he watched our video, as he's runs a Poltergeist 3 website.
Yeah, he did the second audio commentary for Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, and Poltergeist 3. And yes, he runs a website called poltergeist3.com, but it actually has like news stories and clips and pictures and stuff from all three Poltergeist films. And I think the remake's on there too, but I'm not sure.
And one of our comments was, when we watched these commentaries, and we actually say this quite a lot when we watch these commentaries, it ain't just him, was, you know, when you watch these commentaries, sometimes the person doing the commentary stops talking. And we always sit on here and like, okay, what are they doing? Are they watching the movie? And it becomes boring to us, because we're like, the whole time, you know, the whole reason we're watching this is to hear the commentary. And so he actually wrote us back and explained why that was, why there's big open gaps, and I never knew this, so it's really interesting.
Throughout Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, he's pretty much talking all the way through it. I mean, there was only a few little spots where it was like maybe a minute or two before he came back on or whatever. But for the most part, throughout that entire film, he's doing his commentary. But when it came to Poltergeist 3, yeah, there was gaps like 5 and 10 minutes long where there was nothing. And then when he did come on and say something, it was pretty much exactly what the first audio commentary was about, and saying pretty much the same thing that they said in the first audio commentary.
And he basically told us how they record these commentaries. Now, I always thought, Vince, I mean, even back when they very first started these commentaries, and maybe they did it back then, was, you know, these people would like go into a booth, and you got the, you know, the glass pane in front of you, and then you got your headphones here. You put your headphones on, and then you got your big microphone in front of you, and you got the people out there monitoring all the stuff and everything. But truthfully, at least for Scream Factory anyway, none of that happens.
Well, or at least not for this guy. For this person. What he did was basically what we're doing right now.
Yeah, basically he sat and watched the movie and recorded it on his phone and sent it to Scream Factory, and there you go. That's how the audio commentary was done. So it makes me think, is that the way all audio commentaries are done? Like, especially like the directors, the stars, the Scream Factory or whatever other company say, hey, you know, just sit down, we'll send you a copy of the movie, record it on whatever device you have, send it back to us, and we'll put it into the movie. I don't know, but I found that so fascinating that he's just sitting there on his phone in his house doing the commentary, and there it is on the disc.
I don't think they do that with everything, though, Dave, because, I mean, if you listen to other commentaries, sometimes you'll hear them actually move the mic, or you'll hear them bump it or whatever. and I'm sure it for big name stars. You know, that's probably what they do. Exactly what you described the first time, is being in a booth and watching it, and they have microphones. And
now the audio gaps that we were talking about, he also explained what happened there was he would talk about certain things, and I guess Scream Factory or the company or whatever decided to cut out big chunks of his audio, because like one of the things he said he mentioned was how much Heather O'Rourke made for Poltergeist 2 and 3, and I guess they didn't want that information out, and they cut it out. So,
and you just spoke about it,
huh?
And you just talked about it.
I did.
So they're going to cut that out.
I'll be talking, and all of a sudden the audio will go out. Made for Poltergeist 2 and 3, and I can't remember. I think it was 70 for the second and third.
No, it wasn't Scream Factory that did it, though, but I think Scream Factory had to send it through MGM and their legal team. That's the ones who actually told them, well, you can't have this, and you can't have that, and you can't talk about that, you need to take that out. That's what they did.
And also, I found it interesting how he got involved with Scream Factory. Was he found out they were going to be doing Poltergeist 2 and 3, and I think he wrote the executive or whoever at Scream Factory and said, hey, if you need any help, I'm here. He said he runs a website, and I guess he sent them some stuff, and they said they actually wrote him back asking him, I need something to drink. Sooner or later, Scream Factory's like, hey, you want to do a commentary?
It's probably because in some of the other Scream Factory discs that we've reviewed, you know, like, I'm just throwing one out there. Let's say Phantasm 2 or Swamp Thing or whatever. Some of those commentaries, they actually got fans to come on to the show or whatever to record their own commentary for it.
He said that he had some friends that were going to come with him onto the commentary, like 2 other people who run some sort of retro podcast, I think he said it was called. And literally, I can't talk, Vince. I need something. Can you give me something to drink?
It's over, Rock! Now that it's over, just give me something to drink.
You got a drink here still.
There you go.
My throat's all messed up.
Yeah, it is. Fine.
What's the matter with you guys?
Yo, that's rich, baby.
Hey, easy, easy.
Smooth as silk.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's because it's hot. That hot down here.
You should be sitting where I'm sitting.
He had some of his friends and his buddies that were going to be on there as well. And right at the last minute, he said Scream Factory decided not to put him on there and just have him. So it kind of threw him off a little bit. But it was really fascinating to hear all this behind-the-scenes stuff that we never knew. And he also he was talking about how they did that his friend it's called a Flow Tech recut.
So yeah, this guy decided to take what is now the ending of Poltergeist 3 and what the alternate ending of Poltergeist 3 is, or what I guess was supposed to be the original ending, because they filmed that with Heather O'Rourke right before she died. And then because she died, they had to fill in things, and so they ended up using this alternate ending, which became the theatrical ending, I believe. But anyway, he takes the 2 endings and basically splices them together, and it is a different. It does make sort of a difference. It makes a little more sense, but overall, both endings were terrible. So it really doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah, I watched it right before we got on here, and I liked it. I think it's interesting. I like the fact when she walks in there and you see everybody frozen, and then Kane his head melts, and then she turns around and she sees him actually like mummified. They went from like frozen to mummified. I I thought it was kind of cool, and I also liked how what's her head with the necklace came back, and then she melted him for a second time, which didn't make much sense because he already melted once, and he melted twice. But I actually did like it. I thought it flowed a little bit better. I think that it just had a better feel to it than what was in the original film.
Like I said, it made a little more sense. I mean, the way it was cut, interwoven with both endings, it made a little more sense. But
I just felt it like it was flowed better. I like the frozen bodies, and then the mummified bodies. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Was it still a great ending? No.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. It still wasn't all that great of a ending. But you're talking about two endings that weren't that great to begin with.
So anyway, thank you, David, for letting us see a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank you very much for commenting, and of course, all of you out there, if you have any comments or feedback or...
Yeah, and if you work for a studio or a company, we love to hear behind-the-scenes stuff on how these discs are created, because he emailed me, and he talked a little bit about how they were trying to get some of the behind-the-scenes footage, and they had to pay to get it or something, and they didn't want to spend the money to pull off the reels, or I don't know, something like that. And Scream Factory didn't really want, which I can understand because it's Poltergeist. I mean, it's Poltergeist 3. I don't know if I would spend more than 50 cents on working on the disc. 75 cents more? No, it's Poltergeist 3, never mind.
But yeah, I would have liked to seen some of that stuff. I mean, I kind of wish they would have went ahead and did that, though, but...
This ending we're talking about, he offered it to Scream Factory, and they're like, well, because of legal things, and they may have to pay the actors more money if their faces are on these extras, and it's stuff you never even think about. It's like, okay, it's all big money corporation stuff, and that's probably the reason why half the stuff doesn't get on these discs.
It's basically BS bureaucracy. It's really what it amounts to.
Exactly. It's like, okay, well, here they got to show this actor, and you might have to pay him an extra, 75 cents or $50 if he's going to be on this extra, and like, nah. Again, Poltergeist 3, how much is that going to cost? Oh, no. I think if it was like The Thing or like Halloween, they'd be like, sure. Poltergeist 3? No.
Anyway, thank you very much, David, for responding to us and leaving your comment and chatting back and forth. We hope that continues. We'd really like to speak to you again. I mean, you seem to have a little bit of insight on all this, and
yeah, anytime you want to come on the show, and if you even want to talk about Poltergeist or Poltergeist 3 or whatever movie, you are welcome on here anytime you want.
Of course, and please tell everybody on your podcast, and tell your podcast friends about us.
Exactly. Well, come on your podcast. I'm not shy.
Yeah. What the hell? What do we got to lose?
Yeah, I'll talk about Poltergeist 3 all day long.
We'll probably get sued for something, though.
Probably be like, we're probably going to get sued for this video.
Yeah, especially since you gave away how much Heather O'Rourke was going to get paid.
And I did. So be prepared for that email, Vince. And make sure, if you're new to the site, hit that subscribe button. And hit the bell, too. We always forget to talk about the bell, Vince.
Want to ring the bell?
The bell.
And there's a bell there. If you highlight the bell, then it will give you notifications anytime we upload a video.
Oh, okay. That bell.
All right. Ding, ding.
Yeah, okay. Hit the bell up top.
Ding, ding.
Hit the red button down there that says subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, do that too. And if not,
ding, ding.
Who keeps ringing that bell? I can't concentrate.
I've always wanted to do that.
Ding, ding.